Chapter 1. On the diamond-strewn shore. The elf monastery, with its tall roofs curved like huge multicolored shells from some enchanted coast, towered on the hill awash in sparkling moon dust that a lively breeze had swept over from the nearby waterfall. It gleamed, wrapped in the mysterious, airy shawl of the night with its 1,000 secrets. He had spent many sleepless nights soaring above the boundless, dreamy sea of rosewater, and now, as he stood on the diamond-strewn shore watching the snow-white stag swans, with swan-like wings, long necks, and vast branching antlers, study him with bright, curious, deep blue eyes, he felt that his journey was nearing its end, and that perhaps an even greater adventure full of thrills was about to begin. Who was this mysterious stranger with long ebony hair and those unfathomable eyes that shaded his pale face like twin midnight skies, dressed in a sky-blue tunic embroidered with silver designs reminiscent of ancient Greek letters, and bearing great, beautiful wings like some exotic fairy bird? Why had he come to rest on the Isle of the Blue Pierrot? Why did he stand so forlorn among the living harps of that shore, whose eerie song rang out as the heavy bell of the monastery tolled, calling the haunted ships with their translucent corsair ghosts to run aground, so that the familiar husky voice of the invisible captain might sound as it had for countless centuries.
Come on, lads! Drop anchor and straight for the Oak Inn, where liquid amethyst awaits us, sweet nectar drawn from the heart of the forget-me-not, and willing tree wenches to sit upon our laps.
When the trans-oceanic pirate ghosts, their tangled beards, horned bicorns, and thick furs about legs and arms departed, the three-masted ships, imposing, their figureheads laden with mysterious carvings, remained behind, dancing lightly upon the violet waves like blue shades of Acheron. The stranger watched them disappear into the dangerous, unexplored forest of moon sylphs, tiny moon sprites that descended nightly upon the sleeping island to light the weary traveller's path with their mysterious lunar glow, bathing everything like little frozen candles in a blue-silver light.
What seeks an angel here? An angel without a halo, the crown of heaven's dwellers that enlightens the mind and warms the cold hearts of those who have lost their way.
Wondered Sirefa.
I must be mad to set out alone on such a distant and difficult quest.
If the dwarf with the red top hat spoke true, here, in this place, he would recover his lost memory and recall how he had lost his crown of pure light. But where should he begin his search? Perhaps he might learn something from the fisher Pierrots, who each night left the amber harbour with its porcelain quay tiled with glittering sea pebbles to net great goldfish in the sea of rosewater in their cradle-like boats, and returned with the dawn, which in this part of the world was more colourful and magical than any sunset. Their pagoda huts, rich in filigree and bright designs, stood a little farther on, chimneys puffing orange smoke scented of warm raisin bread and cinnamon. There the Columbines waited patiently for their Pierrots, in wide blue pyjamas, to return with the coveted goldfish. Perhaps these women could guide him. Without hesitation he took the road to the pagoda village, beneath the evergreen purple trees, the immortal jacarandas, reached the first hut and knocked thrice upon its round oaken door. A tiny face with button nose, large eyes and pink lips peeped for a heartbeat behind the tulle curtain. Yet one glance told the angel this door would not open that night. Instead, another door opened farther along, and a funny, dumpy grandmother with cheeks red as ripe apples and lips like rubies appeared on the threshold, inviting Sirefa inside with an exceptionally high, squeaky voice. Pleasantly surprised, Sirefa stepped into the colourful cottage without a second thought. She pointed to a curious armchair that looked so soft and welcoming that the travel-weary angel hesitated not at all. When he sank into that unbelievably yielding seat, he realized at once that it was filled not with horsehair, cotton, nor even down, but with something far stranger and supremely cozy that made one want to close one's eyes, surrender to the delightful magic, and let the mind wander to realms even more fantastic than this incredible island, if such places existed.
"It's a cloud chair," the funny old woman explained. "When I knit in it and doze off, I dream the most delectable honey-soaked syrupy dreams. The cover is woven of fairy silk, and the stuffing is the softest white clouds. Think of all the wonderful things those clouds must have witnessed on their heavenly travels before the sugar-dew sprites trapped them here. They still carry their skyward journeys within, and anyone who sits or lies upon them longs to set one's imagination free. Now, may I treat you to something? A glass of rainbow liqueur, perhaps? Or a Four Seasons delight? They're marvellous."
What is rainbow liqueur?
Sirefa asked.
"It is distilled from rainbow essence, moon sylph tears and morning dewdrops. Its flavour is indescribable."
And the Four Seasons delights? I have never heard of such a sweet.
"Ah, there are 5 flavours. Spring delights burst with floral perfumes, ripe fruit, and the cheerful bird-song of morning. Autumn delights hold the coolness of gentle rain and the scent of fallen leaves. Winter delights are as soft as snowflakes, smelling of Christmas, yet hiding a warm heart of fireside tales. I adore the summer delights, shell-shaped, scented with sea breeze, carefree beach games, and the airy sway of a tiny boat upon white foam. The most mysterious, however, are the delights of the 5th season, simultaneously cool and sun-kissed, brimming with flavours of juicy fruit and wondrous flowers. Do not ask how they're made. The recipe is secret, passed from grandmother to granddaughter."
I would very much like to try. Thank you.
The woman left, returning moments later with a silver tray bearing a small bottle whose liquid shimmered with every colour of the spectrum, and a plate of enchanted delights. Instead of a single hue, when one gazed upon them, scenes of the 4 seasons glimmered within, so entrancing that one could not decide whether to eat the sweets or simply watch them transform and reveal nature's spellbinding mysteries. The liqueur and delights were unusual, yet their taste was as pleasant as the company of this sweet granny, who inquired with genuine interest, never intrusive, about Sirefa and what had brought him to so distant and dreamlike a land.
I seek a lost memory. I long to learn how I lost my halo. Only by finding it may I become a true angel again.
The granny pondered, then smiled knowingly.
I believe I know someone who might help. Wait here while I fetch my carved moonwood pipe. Your path will soon grow clearer.
I beg your pardon. How can a carved pipe help?
Sireffa asked. Yet, having no better plan, he waited. The granny took a key from a chain at her neck, unlocked a door secured with 10 padlocks, and vanished into a dark corridor. When she returned, she carried an ornate pipe carved with twisting designs, its mouthpiece curling like a funfair rail. Striking a strange old flint, she filled the room with purple smoke, within which formed a bizarre figure, a comical nobleman, wide-brimmed hat plumed, sapphire shining, velvet clothes dripping with ribbons and lace, beard thin and long like a giant rat's tail, eyes large and blue as precious gems.
Sireffa, meet the Marquis of Smoke. He is wise and surely has something useful to tell us.
At your service, madam,
said the Marquis, bowing.
Marquis, this young angel wishes to learn how to find his lost halo. I am certain you can help.
Would that it were so simple. Yet the quest will not be an easy one. What I can do, however, I most certainly shall.
With that, he removed his flamboyant hat and produced a yellowed scroll, handing it to Sireffa. Unrolled, it revealed a map crowded with cryptic symbols and notes in an unknown tongue, letters so intricate no one could read them without mastery of long-forgotten dialects.
Forgive me, I cannot read this,
said the angel.
Of course not. There is someone who can, however. Go to the Oak Inn and speak with the captain of the Transoceanic Pirates. Matters will soon clarify. And now, if you'll excuse me, I must return to my manor in the 10th dimension before the mischievous elementals wreak havoc. Good fortune, and beware. On such a stormy quest, one may lose more than one finds.
With that, the Marquis vanished, smoke curling back into the pipe. Chapter 2. The Tavern of the Tipsy Pirates. Sireffa bade the granny farewell and set out for the Oak Inn deep in the forest, lit by yellowed lamps of sooty glass. The main hall was built around the roots of an ancient oak bristling with windows. There the pirates lounged with dryad waitresses, drinking liquid amethyst, forget-me-not nectar, feasting on rich game and gambling, while among the branches, like odd tree houses, the inn's rooms perched, where woozy corsairs might rest after nights of purple drink and debauchery. The trunk had become a broad spiral stair. Travellers could climb through the thick limbs, wooden corridors linking the inn to the treetop rooms. At a great table sat the pirate captain with senior crew, He wore an impressive tri-horn hat. His tangled beard fell upon his chest like a wild, stormy sea, and his cold grey eyes were thunderclouds, ready to burst upon landfolk. Thick furs warmed his sinewy arms and legs. The angel approached and tried awkwardly to draw attention, but the welcome was bleak.
I don't know what you're selling, lad, but be sure this sea wolf needs none of it. I'm here to drink and revel with this spicy tree wench on my lap. Period.
Captain, I only wished.
I know. Some scurvy cure or shark repellent. Heard sailors haunt the oak. Thought you'd try your luck. If you don't want cold steel in your belly, pack your wares and bother someone else. Captain Seathard buys from no hawkers nor healers.
Words would not serve. Instead of answering, Sirefa laid the map upon the table, hoping curiosity might succeed where timid courtesy had failed.
Brochures, eh?
Seabeard scoffed.
You're organized. Cheeky, too. Let's see.
He took the map, and indifference faded to wide-eyed astonishment.
By the lice in me beard! A treasure map, real as barnacles. Where the shore-weary quills squirt like you find such a thing? A lifetime I've hunted these, and here pops a land-soft chicken with a chart leading to treasure. Apparently on this very isle I visit only for drink, lively wenches and cards. Ha! That's a good one! I'd be telling my grandkids all about it, if I had any, which, thank goodness, the curse never granted. Now then, you lazy mutts, up off your backsides! Treasure hunt begins!
His shout spread like wildfire among the corsairs, excitement boiling. A treasure chase was just the surge of blood their jaded hearts required. Before the angel knew, he was swept in a torrent of peg legs and iron hooks, jostling and bawling for doubloons and riches beyond boldest dreams. Chapter 3. The Fountain of Secrets. Soon they were deep inside the forest of moon sylphs, and under Captain Seabeard's none too careful reading of the yellowed map, they pressed toward the points the parchment decreed, eager for the fabulous fortune awaiting them at journey's end. After many wrong turns and heedless blunders, they stumbled into a clearing dominated by an ancient, imposing fountain. Grotesque yet magical stone figures ringed it. Intricate reliefs of beautiful maidens, long, smooth hair brushing their ankles, told symbolic, enigmatic tales. At the fountain's crown rose an ornate golden candelabrum in which burned 3 cold, uncanny flames, one green, one blue, the last violet. Water poured from the jaws of twin reptilian serpents, glass clear and sparkling in the moonlight, inviting the onlooker to drink.
Mind yourselves, lads!
Seabeard hissed.
That's the undead water. One sip makes ye immortal and accursed. Neither alive nor dead, forever unquenched, untasting fear, pain, or pleasure.
Who'd desire such a fate?
The angel asked.
Immortality tempts many. Countless fools of old drank here and were doomed to wander the eternal void between life and death.
And the 3 flames atop?
The green is the forest's soul. Should it die, the woods perish. The blue sustains the Lady of the Sugar Glass Lake, keeper of forbidden knowledge. Mystics and madmen sought her power, but gained only ruin.
And the violet?
Sirefa almost whispered. The captain smiled a secret smile.
It is the spark of the ancient magic that forges worlds. It passes through 1,000 universes, birthing wonders, fair beings, and dark monsters. And when it departs, it leaves behind only crystalline remnants of its dread strength. Yet this spark remained, because magic not only creates worlds, it ends them when the hour strikes. In that fire, all shall be unmade.
A chill ran through Sirefa, as though an icy wind touched his soul.
According to the parchment our sky-born friend so kindly provided, we must first offer sacrifice to the undead water.
What sort of sacrifice?
Growled a stubble-faced pirate with 3 yellow teeth.
A goat?
No. A drop of pure blood will do. Enough to reveal the next clue.
A single drop? I doubt that the fountain will be quenched by the thick green sludge in our veins,
said another pirate.
Exactly,
said Seabeard, producing a gleaming knife with a silver-engraved hilt.
Therefore, unless our dove-winged friend objects, I'll prick his lily-white finger and placate the fountain.
Sirefa eyed the sinister blade with mingled fear and revulsion, yet sensed there was no other way. The pirate seized the angel's hand, held it above the crystalline water, and nicked the marble pale finger. One pristine drop, not red but radiant white, a distillation of living light itself, fell upon the sleeping surface. The fountain exploded in brilliance, outshining even the moon. Some pirates shielded their eyes. A perfumed wind stirred the triple flames, and the earth shivered as though kissed by a passionate prince. Suddenly the soil beside the fountain split, and a lovely tree sprouted. A smooth, light brown trunk, nearly transparent blue leaves like gossamer silk, rising to match the ancient giants round about. Its fruit, fat and milk white, looked delicious.
By Triton's beard,
bellowed the captain.
The tree of innocence! The fountain accepted our tribute.
Fine fruit!
A pirate muttered.
Wouldn't mind sinking my teeth into one.
Don't even think of it.
Seabeard snarled.
Only a heart as pure as a child's may taste these. A sly salt cod like you would find it black poison. Sirefa alone has the right.
The angel plucked a fruit, bit, and tasted cool, luscious vanilla. One bite filled him with surging strength. At its core lay not a seed, but a tiny crystal key that refracted light into all the rainbow's colors.
I wonder what it opens,
he mused.
What else?
Laughed Seabeard.
The treasure chest. We're on the true path. Dig at the roots, and the hoard is ours.
Keep the entire haul,
said Sirefa.
I care nothing for riches. I seek only knowledge of my halo.
Let's find the chest first,
the captain barked.
Someone remembered a shovel, I hope?
Aye, Captain,
a sailor said, handing over a spade.
Why give it me, you jellyfish? You dig! Think this captain will sweat so you scoundrels claim a share? Dig! By the 1,000 mermaids, dig! Chapter
4. A chest filled with light. The grousing pirate did indeed begin to dig, carving a deep hole while cursing every root and stone. Suddenly his spade struck something solid with a muffled thunk, unleashing a storm of thrilled howls from the crew. Buried not far beneath lay a chest, no larger than a sea-wolf's footlocker, but exquisitely wrought of pale electrum, its sides etched with swirling sigils and ancient beasts. A hefty padlock of solid gold barred the lid.
Well now, Pearl Wing, let's see what that marble seed key of yours can do,
Seabeard said, eyes fever bright. Sireffa knelt, fitted the crystal prism key into the lock, and with a soft click, the padlock sprang open. The lid flew back as though pushed from within. Instead of gold glare, a gorgeous violet radiance flooded out, accompanied by delicate dreamlike music. Tiny feminine figures burst forth, miniature ballerinas with butterfly wings, spinning aerial pirouettes no earthbound dancer could attempt.
We've been duped! What think you're doing, you flutter fool hens? Where's my treasure?
Seabeard roared. The ballerinas only laughed, their crystal voices tinkling like bells, and swarmed the pirates, tickling, tugging beards, tweaking noses. The hardened corsairs shrieked in outrage.
Shut the chest, slugs! I'll not look upon it, nor that cursed gold lock. Stow those butterfly harpies where they can't plague us,
the captain bellowed. Once the lid slammed, the dancers vanished like mist, music and light snuffed out.
That's better,
Seabeard hissed, then turned a glowering gaze on the angel.
Serves me right for chasing treasure with a feathered babe in arms, but by thunder I'll have some satisfaction. Tie him to that useless tree and cram his map down his throat!
The ruffians bound Sireffa to the innocence tree, stuffing the crumpled chart between his lips. They had no rope wide enough for his wings, so those remained free, beating helplessly. In moments, the pirates tramped off, leaving the magical chest behind and cursing their luck. The angel hung there like a tethered kite, drifting above the trunk, yet helpless. Who could say how long he dangled, hoping for rescue? At last, something approached through the starry night, an airship of sorts, though unlike any craft of earth or sky. Chapter 5. The Jester of Dreamglow. Through the star-bright hush drifted a most peculiar air vessel. Instead of a wicker basket, it bore a gigantic round, wide-brimmed hat, its sides pieced with stained glass panels like a tiny Gothic chapel, while aloft, in place of a single balloon, bobbed dozens of small animal-shaped balloons, giraffes, spaniels, fat goldfish, even a solemn tortoise. Its lone pilot was equally queer, a jester clad in motley, hung with silver bells, enormous spectacles magnifying curious eyes, and surrounded by a subtle phosphorescence, as though half firefly, half dreamfish. Unlike mortal aeronauts, he seemed to steer the craft purely by thought. Catching sight of the bound angel, he settled the hatch-ship and briskly slit the cords. Sireffa, stiff and speechless, fluttered to the ground.
My word! Never have I seen such a strange bird as you,
the stranger declared in a voice both merry and hypnotic.
I am no bird. I am an angel,
Sireffa said, rubbing his numb wrists.
You claim you're not a bird, yet I suspect an identity crisis in a particularly oversized hoopoo. After all, no bird knows it is a bird. They lack the wit. Therefore, you must be a gigantic, rather foolish bird. Delighted to meet you, dear fowl. In my childhood, I had a canary I dearly loved until it ate my cat. Or perhaps the reverse. Hard to say.
Serepha blinked, torn between laughter and offence. Something about the motley fellow was disarming.
Forgive my frankness, but what is that strange aura around you? Are you some magical being?
Of a sort.
The jester answered with a theatrical bow.
I am Billy Blom, one of the children of the crystals, born in the Cup Valley, round the Teapot Castle, where the houses are porcelain cups and forget-me-nots carpet the hills. You'll see thousands of will-o'-wisps humming there, and in their midst rises an ancient crystal monument built by the first elves of this isle. Condensed world magic seeped into the earth, creating magical crystals. The ancient elves shaped this material to create those massive pillars, and within their shimmer, the will-o'-wisps turn into sentient beings, the children of the crystals. Each of us possesses a unique power. I, for instance, possess unbounded dominion over balloons. I guide them by mere thought.
Serepha's lips twitched. The jester glared.
It is not amusing. Balloons are perilous. Consider choking hazards.
How did you come to wander the night in a hat airship?
I'm a fugitive, and the culprit is love. Love that clouds every creature's judgment and turns us into playthings of fate.
Love?
A fierce, hopeless love. I fell for the wondrous Baroness Lilyblim. I, the lowly Billy Blom, a pitiful fool, dared to love the king's very own great niece, 16th in line to the sugar-frosted throne and sole sovereign of the Candy Isles. Oh, dazzling Lilyblim, with your sky-blue waterfall of silken curls crowning the shy pearl of your face, your tricolour magic aura that lulled me, and the fragrant night flowers blossoming from your crimson gown. How I yearned for you!
And she wanted nothing to do with you, I suppose.
Alas, that is my tragedy. That noble lady, blossoming at 17, returned my humble feelings and let me amuse her, night after night, twisting wondrous shapes from the balloons that drifted across her chamber ceiling, while her mushroom bed, decked with starry wind chimes cut from glimmering shards of starlight, chimed sweetly to her gurgling laughter. Yet drunk on happiness as we were, we both knew the price of our ill-matched love. The instant King Abeliblom learned his beloved great niece had given her heart to his clown, his wrath would crash over us like a terrible thunderbolt.
I'm sorry, Billiblom. I understand how hard it was not to be free to show your love for the Baroness.
Fortunately, we found an unexpected ally in Bobo Blom, the gentle giant and grand entertainer of the whole realm.
Who is Bobo Blom?
Search the land, and you'll never find a kinder, gentler giant. Everyone adores him in the Teapot Kingdom. It took a full dozen clever nursemaids to raise him with stories and songs, turning a colossal babe into the towering giant who taps the stars with his tiny hammer, crafting the sweetest cosmic music. I'll never forget the night a falling star struck his head, sparking an unbelievable expansion of his imagination. The pictures in his mind overflowed, flooding the entire kingdom. Visions from every tale the nursemaids had told him drifted like dream phantoms above the cup-shaped houses, and crystal children leaned from their windows to gaze. Through a mist of dreams, you could see pink donkeys with firefly wings, long-haired elf princesses in airy robes, rainbow dragons, smaller than butterflies, glowing like sparks before our eyes, fairy birds, unicorns with shimmering plumage, knights in emerald armor astride silver pegasi, gaudy acrobats balancing on a golden thread spun by a rainbow silkworm, and countless other marvels that would take me all night to recount to you.
And did the giant get better?
No, but the 4 wise hermits of the translucent ice, with beards made of crystal stalactites, crafted this hat you see now on my balloon. They decorated it with stained glass and had Beau Bob Lom wear a crown made of seats, so anyone who wanted could sit and enjoy his dreamlike visions, which from then on would be locked inside that miraculous round hat. Every night, a crowd of crystal children climbed onto the giant's head to enjoy a breathtaking show of dreams and magic.
You still haven't told me if the king found out about your love for the Baroness.
He discovered us, and all his rage broke loose on my foolish, lovesick head. He locked me in a cage of airy whispers, transparent and cold like the frozen north wind from the snowy mountains, but shining and hard like a diamond. Every scream gets drowned when you're trapped in a cage like that. I cried out for days, hoping someone would pity me, but no one heard, no one cared. Only one showed me mercy, the giant with the golden heart, Beau Bob Lom himself.
And did he help you?
The only thing that can break a shining cage of airy whispers is a tiny soft feather from a stag swan. But to get one, you have to tame one of those magical, wild and untamable creatures. The only one who could perform this miracle was Beau Bob Lom, who even the fiercest beasts feel the kindness and power of and bow down to. My good friend managed the impossible. He tamed a stag swan and took a small feather from its proud wings. A gentle touch from that feather shattered my cage and set me free. But the kind giant didn't stop there. He gave me his hat with the colourful stained glass, and my beloved Baroness brought all the feather-like balloons that floated in her room and tied them with the hooks that the crystal children used to hang their coats when they came to see my giant friend's dream visions. That's how this balloon came to be. Now I am a fugitive. I know I will never again kiss the precious blue curls of my Baroness. I will be forever a hunted soul without purpose or hope. Now I drift, hunted and heart-sore.
Take heart. I too am half lost, seeking the path to my halo. Mayhap we can aid each other.
Zirepha answered. The jester's bells chimed as he brightened.
The answer is simple. The Monastery of Crystal Dreams. The ancient elves there guide any seeker, however hopeless.
Will you accompany me? Perhaps both of us might find hope anew.
Billy Blom needed no second bidding.
Agreed, noble bird. Let us test whether 2 desperate hearts such as ours may reclaim joy once more.
Chapter 6. The Monastery of Hidden Wonders. The elves' monastery was a timeless, dream-forged edifice, something that could have been raised in any era by any culture. The first sight greeting a visitor who neared its tall, intricately carved door was 2 stone elf maidens in airy, pleated gowns who, like mythical caryatids, held aloft the Gothic arch of the central gate. That arch resembled 2 gnarled tree branches meeting at the top, as though nature itself had been copied and bound in harmony with the ancient trees that ringed a lake of silvery moon dust. This dust spilled from a nearby waterfall, and with every breath of wind spread like sparkling gold over everything around, lending a gleaming, dreamlike glow. At the apex of the arch hung a diamond-shaped lantern, its upper half taller than the base, shedding light alongside many smaller matching lanterns fixed along the wall that enclosed the sacred courtyard. The turrets, polygonal and topped with cornices adorned by unicorns rearing on their hind legs, led up to spiral roofs that gave the building its signature enchantment. On the tallest roof stood a symbol like a star with undulating rays. When the two friends knocked, a small window at the top of the door slid open, and a pair of almond-shaped gleaming violet eyes inspected them. Then the door parted, and a slender, tall elf in a long silk robe, sharp-eared with waist-length white hair, smiled a strange smile, his gaze seeming to pierce the friends and sink into a dizzying infinity.
"Come, we have been expecting you,"
he said in a voice like a whisper that nonetheless rang clear and strong. Sirafa and Billyblom exchanged puzzled looks, but followed the elf inside. First they entered a corridor lined with painted figures of ancient elves in mesmerizing garments rendered in an unknown, imposing style, and statues immortalizing magical fairies, ethereal nymphs, and mischievous sprites. Along the corridor stretched nothing but glass doors, allowing passers-by to see whatever lay beyond. As the friends walked by, they realized that what showed behind those doors was not another part of the monastery, but seems utterly unlike one another, forms and objects that shimmered and quivered like candle flames, as though veiled in a distorting mist that rendered them uncanny and indistinct. At last, curiosity overcame Sirafa, and he asked the elf what the glass doors were and where they led.
They are doors to rare and precious dreams,"
the elf explained, as if lost in some inexplicable rapture, and with those words he halted before one of them. The angel and Billyblom stopped as well, but what they saw puzzled them even more. At first, the scene showed a shining moon sylph asleep inside a great open orchid.
"Behind this door lies the lovely dream of the little moon sylph. Observe,"
the elf said. As he spoke, the sprite's form grew fainter until it was replaced by a silver lake on whose surface the figure of the magical sylph seemed to fly, arms outstretched, veils fluttering, a tiny sparkling crown on her head. Behind her, other moon sprites flitted, chattering in their delicate, translucent voices in an unknown secret tongue.
"The little moon sylph dreams she is queen of all moon sprites, leading them to a new city on a fresh-born moon as they soar above the silver lake."
Indeed, before long, the moon sprites of the living dream were traveling through a mysterious landscape of giant rare gemstones, diamonds, emeralds, rubies and amethysts, forming mountains, hills and craters. Suddenly, a city emerged among the jewels. Alabaster houses capped by crescent moon roofs, adorned with shining stars, golden door leaves, and windows that gleamed like treasure in the otherworldly scene.
What a beautiful dream. If only I could enter that wondrous realm of the moon sprites,
said Sirafa.
"But you can. Just open the door and you will step into the dream. Yet beware, beautiful dreams are fragile. and can easily turn into nightmares.
The angel could scarcely believe his ears, but his desire to enter the dream was so strong that he did not hesitate for long. He opened the door and stepped inside. Chapter 7. In the Realm of the Moon Sprites. Entering someone else's dream feels like being a child plunging into the sea for the very first time and discovering the ocean floor's hidden riches. He sensed himself flying, but not as an angel with broad wings. He too had become a small, shining moon sprite among the others, brimming with the thrill of exploration. He could hardly wait to see the magical city they had found. The moon sylphs, wrapped in silver and sky-blue light, swept above the alabaster houses like otherworldly elf maids, slipped inside and spoke in their unknown tongue, trembling with excitement. Tiny notes like luminous birds glided through the city and, instead of chirping, sounded the tones of a marvelous celesta. The melody intoxicated the senses and carried the mind away. Sirepha noticed an empty little house and went in to explore. The first thing he saw was a 12-sided die spinning in mid-air, like a planet trapped in some unknown universe. On the wall stood 10 strange hourglasses, each smaller than the last. The largest, tall as Sirepha himself, was filled with miniature diamonds that fell upward, forming a glittering layer at the top. The smaller hourglasses held other mysterious materials, each finer than the one before, giving the impression that one emptied faster than the next, yet none ever ran out. The tiniest hourglass, no taller than a matchstick, seemed full of moon dust flowing upward, as though time moved backward from future to past with astonishing speed, an endless energy streaming unceasingly from bottom to top. Mounted on the wall were a broom of silken strands with a smooth, glossy handle, an open compass, and a metronome beating the moments at a steady, almost frenzied pace. In a rocking chair sat a little doll like a kindly elf grandmother, so lifelike you expected her to speak any moment. Her eyes even seemed to follow Sirepha as he moved about the mysterious room, lit only by the magic hourglasses, and by Sirepha himself, glowing like a great moon sprite. Then Sirepha did something inexplicable. He took the tiny hourglass of moon dust and tucked it into his robe, which fluttered around him like a ghost. He felt like a thief, yet something told him he would need it in his quest. Uneasily he glanced around. The doll in the chair seemed to watch him reproachfully, though perhaps it was only his imagination. Once outside, he saw the moon sylphs whirling in a wild ring dance. Before he fully grasped what was happening, 2 sprites seized him and swept him into the intoxicating frenzy of the revel. The notebirds, with their metallic, ethereal voices, wove a sweet, lilting music that beckoned Sirepha to abandon himself to the dance's rapture. But the sprites spun so fast that his breath was cut short. Suddenly, one of the sprites holding him turned, and still dancing, said something in her unknown language that, astonishingly, he understood.
You are not one of us. You don't belong in this dream. Thief! Thief!
Sirepha froze. The other moon sprites cried out in unison.
Interloper in our dream. Thief, thief, thief.
With great effort he broke free, and sweating from fear and exertion, began to fly away. The tiny sprites gave chase.
Thief! Give back what you took. Thief!
Sirepha's heart pounded. Suddenly, a door to nowhere opened before him and swallowed him. He burst out in terror, and the glass door through which he had entered the dream slammed shut behind him. The elf and Billyblom stared at him, shaken. It seemed they had witnessed everything.
I warned you. Dreams are fragile. They can easily turn into nightmares.
It's all my fault. I took something that wasn't mine.
But of course it was yours. No one can take anything from another's dream unless it was placed there especially for him.
You mean I was right to take the little hourglass?
That will be revealed. The future is veiled in thick clouds. In any case, you would not have taken it had there not been grave cause. Whether it brings your salvation or your ruin will become clear in its own time.
Chapter 8. The Lady of Reflections and Shadows. With those words, the elf moved on and pointed to another glass door. Serepha and Billyblom looked in to discover the dream that lay beyond. A shadowy female figure bathed in moonlight lay sleeping before an oak whose trunk bore the features of a human face. So gnarled and wrinkled, it might have been the countenance of an ancient crone.
The woman who sleeps is the Lady of Shadows. She rests at the feet of the forest crone, the oldest hamadryad in all the world,
said the elf.
Who is the Lady of Shadows?
She is the mistress who commands the incorporeal and unseen, the subtle and the untouchable. Shadows and reflections are her subjects. Let us see what she dreams.
The scene behind the door blurred, and still more wondrous images appeared. The Lady of Shadows wandered through a half-light among her subjects, transparent beings lovelier than sweet dreams, more ethereal than spirits, lighter than shadows, more elusive than reflections. They sang, played and teased one another like airy apparitions. At her side walked a sprite with a regal air, pointed ears, and a garland of honeysuckle and jasmine.
That is Oberon, King of the Sprites. The Lady of Shadows has long loved him in secret, yet dares not declare her feeling for fear of Queen Titania.
I'd like to enter this dream. I just hope it doesn't become a nightmare.
Remember, in a dream you needn't always play by the rules. Sometimes you must forget what you know in order to discover something new.
With that, the glass door opened, and Billyblom stepped into the Lady of Shadows' dream. The very first sensation that flooded the jester was a torrent of magical perceptions. Suddenly his awareness was no longer limited to sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. Dozens of new, unknown, inner, and mystical senses unlocked, filling his mind with impressions and experiences. It was as though he himself had become a member of the lady's enchanted retinue, and within that dream world, his perceptive limits had expanded, opening his soul to an entirely new reality. He felt substances and spiritual textures that only the magical antennae of a sprite could detect, like a soft feather brushing hidden strings of the soul, flooding him with unimagined marvels, ecstatic raptures, and intoxication beyond all fantasy. Knowing the shadow procession would soon pass where he stood, the jester hid behind a rose-pink bush to watch what these magical and splendid shadows would do. He had scarcely concealed himself when, as if an invisible curtain were drawn aside, the Lady of Shadows and the King of Sprites appeared, accompanied by shades and reflections, scattering flowers and aromatic leaves from an unknown plant in their wake.
The secret currents of the forest soul flow like a divine breath across the strings of our feelings' lyre,
murmured a mysterious violet shadow.
Even mischance becomes harmony in our magic realm. What makes no sense to creatures of flesh is, for us, the message of a deeper truth that governs the hidden life of shadows.
Indeed, what worth has any life if it is not mysterious and wondrous? In the alchemy of love, we shall find the rapture of joy. May this dream never end,
said a reflection.
Dream? Only here, upon this taut, transparent thread between truth and lie, can one find meaning and substance in our hollow existence.
Laughed a translucent fairy. Then the deep yet gentle voice of the Lady of Shadows rang out.
Since I first felt, in my depths, the initial tremor of the magic that bound us, and heard your cries upon the steep slopes of the haunted mountain, my beloved siblings, I knew the intoxicating spell joining us would spread like a sacred veil across the secret, untrodden valleys of the human soul, and new horizons of ecstasy and ineffable truth would open before us. Now, in this moment of delight and union with my hidden beloved, I wished you all beside me to share my joy. Let nothing dilute the immortal nectar of this happiness. Yet someone is here whom I know not, one who remains unseen, unwilling to reveal himself, as though he fears the power that overflows us. Step forth, silent star, and declare why you slipped into this dreaming pandemonium.
Billy Blom froze. He knew she spoke of him, and that he could hide no longer. Emerging from behind the bushes, he was immediately encircled by shades, reflections, and spirits who studied him with curiosity. The jester realized that hesitation would be his ruin. The only way out was to act within the lady's dream.
Lady, I belong to King Oberon's retinue. He bid me stay concealed until the proper moment, that I might announce his wish to wed you in the name of moonlight and ancient magic.
As he spoke, an astonishing transformation began. His clothes turned into those of the sprites, and his features suited a woodland spirit more than a crystal child. The ruse had worked. He had become part of the marvelous dream. As though moved by a single will, every spirit and shadow joined its uncanny voice in one mystical, enchanted song.
In our secret alchemy, every magic joins as one.
Deep the darkness, bright the holy, shining shadows set and done.
Every power holds its color, fire to earth and air to sea. Petals spread their perfumes over souls that merge in unity.
When mortals feel this fusion, like metals they will melt to one sacred seamless alloy, free of laughter, pain, or welt.
All our spirits shape one power, one pure right, one endless dream. Grief will vanish into vapor, only joy shall reign supreme.
Queen of elements unbounded, raise the waters, calm the skies. Offer forth the sacred goblet, nectar of the dreamer's prize.
A secret alchemy, every magic joins as one. Deep the darkness, bright the holy, shining shadows set and done. Every power holds its color, fire to earth and air to sea. Petals spread their perfumes over souls that merge in unity. When mortals feel this fusion, like metals they will melt to one sacred seamless alloy, free of laughter, pain or welt. All our spirits shape one power, one pure light, one endless dream. Grief will vanish into vapor, only joy shall reign supreme. Secret alchemy, every magic joins as one. Deep the darkness, bright the holy, shining shadows set and done. Every power holds its color, fire to earth and air to sea. Petals spread their perfumes over souls that merge in unity. When mortals feel this fusion, like metals they will melt to one sacred seamless alloy, free of laughter, pain or welt. All our spirits shape one power, one pure right, one endless dream. Grief will vanish into vapor, only joy shall reign supreme.
While shadows, spirits, and reflections sang, flakes of pure light began to fall from the sky, slipping through the leafy vault and forming a luminous carpet on the ground that itself seemed to radiate otherworldly energy. Soon the glow was so bright, Billy Blom could no longer distinguish any figure around him. He felt a tug, as though a small pin were drawn to a mighty magnet. And before he knew it, he was flung out of the dream and back into the corridor of glass doors. The elf and Serapha gazed at him, enraptured by what they had witnessed.
We have no time for you to visit more dreams,
the elf said.
Follow me. There is still much to see.
Chapter 9. Into the depths of the mirror. No sooner had the two friends emerged from the corridor than the elf ushered them into a chamber so uncanny that neither could imagine its purpose, nor why such a place should exist inside a monastery. The room was crowded with glowing crystalline formations that had grown into fantastical shapes only a refined intelligence could have conceived. Some crystals resembled fonts, bells, stalagmites, pillars, hourglasses, vast spheres and pendulums. Others took on forms for which nothing in the waking world offered a name. Each crystal radiated its own power, vibrating with secret magic, an inexplicable, supernatural energy capable of shifting, condensing, vanishing, then conjuring all things out of nothing. At the chamber's center stood a mysterious alchemical table strewn with every manner of strange stone, vessel, and magic essence, substances so volatile they might destabilize entire worlds. Around it lay tools that wavered between the material and the immaterial. At the far wall towered a colossal mirror in an ornate frame, its use anyone could only guess.
This is the hall where we ancient elves worship and serve the primeval magic that begets worlds,
the elf explained.
We strive to give it form, to master its singular properties. For that task we harness crystallized magic, remnants left behind when the great tide of creative power withdrew. We shape that crystalline force into forms that channel and direct it, pendulums to stem the wild current of time and bridge supratemporal magic to the linear time governing our world. Crystal fonts in which we baptize ourselves, cleansing all that is not pure magic, so the spirit may rise like enchanted vapor to higher states of consciousness. Crystal spheres that let us gaze into parallel realities where the impossible becomes possible. Every crystal serves a different purpose, giving new shape to the unruly power of the ages. And to fashion magic, we use arcane alchemy, a science older than the realm of dreams, seeking to command the properties that mold both matter and immaterial phenomena. It is the ultimate balance between the tangible and the spiritual, the three-dimensional and the transcendent.
It sounds difficult,
Serapha remarked.
And exceedingly dangerous. We risk our very souls, which at any moment may be consumed by the divine fire blazing beyond the universes, leaving behind an empty husk, less alive than dead. Supreme bliss, and at the same time a fate more terrible than death.
Just then, strange flashes like magical fireworks sparkled across the great mirror, drawing the trio's attention.
How odd,
said the elf.
The mirror of wonders behaves so only when it brims with marvels it longs to share. Perhaps it has a gift for you two.
What gift?
The angel asked.
What else?
The elf smiled.
Some wonder you both need. Come. Best not disappoint the mirror.
Billy Blom, veiled in his magic aura, and Serapha, the angel without a halo, stepped before the mirror. Instead of their puzzled reflections, they beheld a landscape of perfect beauty. Glorious trees whose canopies seemed woven from the rose-tinged mist that clings to happy childhood memories and future dreams of triumph and delight. Everything appeared fashioned solely to please the senses and quicken every desire. Clear, tranquil waters glittered in the dreamlight of an indescribable sunset, its colours as vivid and real as they would appear to eyes that had never yet seen the sun. Lakes, rivers, and springs breathed the fragrance of priceless myrrh. Rose clouds lay across a sky like brilliant exotic silk, and poetic trunks, all austere harmony, stood carved by a drunken sculptor who had glimpsed a lost paradise's secret beauty. Eternal mountains loomed in the distance, half veiled by a filmy, almost spiritual haze. At the center rose a temple of breathtaking art, archaic white pillars like graceful maidens swaying, wrapped in translucent veils that revealed unashamed virginal bodies brimming with life. Marble serpents, deep green vines, and blood-red roses coiled about them.
What lies inside the temple?
The angel asked.
You must enter to learn.
But how?
Serapha murmured, spellbound.
Dive into the mirror. Both of you, drink in the flesh and blood vision that is offered.
Serapha timidly touched the mirror's surface. To his amazement, it yielded like a thin, watery membrane with air beyond. Closing his eyes, summoning his courage, he slipped through. A rush of freshness greeted him, reviving fragrances and sensations he seemed to know from some moment buried deep in memory. Billy Blom followed and let out a sigh of relief, like a castaway reaching shore after years at sea, as though a crushing weight, bodily and spiritual, had lifted.
Incredible! I feel I belong here more than I ever did in the Teapot Palace.
I know what you mean.
Serapha agreed. They wandered the unimaginably lovely realm, shedding every care as though here answers to all questions and fulfillment of every yearning awaited. Yet their longing to discover what lay inside the temple guided their steps. Crossing its threshold, they felt they trespassed on holy ground without the proper cleansing.
Welcome,
Rang a sparkling voice. Upon a golden throne sat a breathtaking maiden of 17, long silken blue hair flowing, a gown strewn with open night flowers, and a 3-colored aura radiating from her body.
Impossible. A trick. An illusion. My Baroness? Baroness Lilyblim? It cannot be real.
I am the Hierophant of the Temple of Halos.
The maiden answered with a gentle smile. At once, great crowns of sacred light appeared, hovering above abstract marble busts.
Halos.
The angel stammered.
Hundreds of them.
Yet each unique.
The Hierophant Baroness said, her enigmatic smile unbroken.
There is not a single sanctity, but many. Therefore these crowns, honoring every form of holy power, are all unique.
As she spoke, The white radiance of the halos shifted, each adopting a different hue. Sky blue, violet, gold, amethyst, yellow, orange, rose, halos in every shade.
But halos are always wrought of pure white holy light.
Indeed, I gave them color to reveal their distinct sacred energies. Sky blue crowns for self-sacrifice, violet for cosmic wisdom, gold for true life, amethyst for heavenly ecstasy, yellow for paradisal bliss, orange for genuine illumination, rose for holy love that leads toward the divine essence, and each tint still carries a subtly different quality. Since you cannot wear them all, you must choose one, crafted especially for you.
Go on, Sirefa. This is your chance.
The angel moved among the halos. Each stirred his desire to claim it, yet which was destined for him alone? Among the dazzling crowns was one that seemed to shine a little less brightly, woven of transparent silvery light.
This one.
The angel breathed.
I know this is mine.
Then wear it.
The Hierophant's voice echoed.
Put it on!
Billy Blom cried. Sirefa raised his white hands and set the silvery halo upon his head. Instantly it brightened, brighter still, until every other halo looked like a pale spark beside a full moon.
The crown of humility.
The Hierophant said in a reverent voice.
It appears so modest, yet when it crowns a truly humble soul, it outshines them all. No wisdom, no power can stand beside the authentic humility of a soul before the cosmic divine force. You chose well.
Tears filled the angel's eyes. The sense of wholeness and joy was incomparable. The Hierophant rose and approached Billy Blom, who still gazed at her enthralled. As her aura merged with his, and she placed her hand in his, the jester shivered with bliss.
Come,
she said, an enigmatic smile lighting her pearly face.
time to return to your own world. A miracle is precious, but one deep draught can steal you forever, and then you too become just another wonder among the countless marvels of the ages.
The trio left the temple and walked through the calm of that eternal sunset that never darkened. They knew not what would follow, but each felt more fulfilled than words could tell. They climbed the hill that had led them to the magic valley until they reached the enchanted mirror, identical in this realm of wonders to the mirror in the elves' monastery.
Go on,
The Baroness said.
Step through. I shall follow.
Once more Sirefa passed the thin, watery membrane, and Billy Blom followed, never releasing his beloved's hand. But as the jester slipped across, she swiftly pulled her hand free.
Farewell!
She cried, her voice breaking.
No! Don't leave me!
Billy Blom shouted. It was too late. A mighty force dragged him to the other side, sundering him forever from the mysterious Hierophant. Chapter 10. Travellers in the Great Magic. No sooner had they found themselves back inside the monastery than every trace of the miracle was gone. The silver halo had vanished from the angel's brow, and Billy Blom stood alone, without his beloved Baroness.
Do not grieve,
The elf said.
The wonders of the mirror never leave its magic realm. In the real world, you must fight for what your heart desires.
I don't understand.
The angel murmured.
Was it all a lie? An illusion?
No. The joy you felt was true, and it will light your heart until the thing you long for becomes reality,
replied the elf.
How can what we lived become real?
Sirefa asked.
Follow me, and you will see,
said the elf, and with those words he opened a door that led to a soaring spiral stair. Up they climbed to the monastery's summit, onto a terrace that gave onto a bridge wrought of rainbows, paved with gleaming pearls and roofed by crystal arches. Multicolored lanterns hung the length of it, shedding every hue of light. The bridge seemed to stretch so far that it joined the monastery to the silver moon.
To find what you seek,
the elf told them,
you must make the journey of crystal dreams and meet Oceana, the resplendent and boundless fairy at the heart of the universe, outside of time. The lovely lady who fills infinity, whom none can bear to behold. Only the white time fawn, who rides the back of the ancient three-headed tortoise, can show you the way. Go, go, and remember all you have learned.
Let's begin, my friend,
said Sirefa,
and stay together to the end of the road.
Whatever happens,
Billy Blom answered,
I'm truly glad I met you, and that we'll take the journey of crystal dreams side by side.
So the two friends set out, crossing the Pearl Bridge beneath the glowing arches and their rainbow lanterns, the path looking wholly unreal. They walked a long way until they came upon a grandfather clock, tall as a castle, its base rooted in the dark depths of the cosmos, and its crown rising to the heavenly nebulae.
Look, the clock marks not ours, but the world's great ages. 6 is the era of the ancient elves. 12, the return of the primeval magic that will unmake the world. The hour hand points to 9, the era of crystal dreams. Soon, the cuckoo will emerge to warn all beings that the reality they inhabit is an enchanting dream, and that they will shortly awaken.
Oh, the little door is opening.
Indeed, the door, huge as a castle gate in that colossal clock, swung wide, and out stepped a gigantic three-headed tortoise, pacing slowly, with a snow-white fawn seated upon its shell. The fawn's thick pelt was sprinkled with sparkling moon dust. 2 great horns curved from his forehead, and a golden flute rested at his lips. The tortoise moved along beside the Pearl Bridge, leaving behind tiny glittering seconds, momentary bubbles in the boundless, liquid eternity.
The time fawn,
Sirefa whispered.
Let's follow him and see where he goes.
Yes, but carefully, so he won't notice.
Billy Blom cautioned.
He may grow angry if he sees us spying.
As though entranced, the fawn began to play, and an exquisite, haunting melody slashed the night. Instantly, the stars, like mischievous sparks, started to dance across the sky. 12 of them even drifted down, and like lively fireflies they drew bright, teasing circles round the jester and the angel, who tried to shoo them off as they tickled and pricked with their sharp rays of pure light. Before they quite realized it, They had followed the three-headed tortoise all the way to the moon. Chapter 11. The Moon Tree of Dewdrops. Everything here was wrought of silver, and now and then they skirted tiny hollows brimming with mercury. A glorious moon tree rose nearby, its long violet leaves like airy pennants fluttering in a playful cosmic breeze. Its grey-white trunk coiled and swayed like a lithe serpentine dancer in a flowing gown, every graceful branch seeming to answer the flute's heavenly melody, though in truth the tree never shifted from its place. Galactic dew slipped unceasingly from the leaves, little diamond drops that fell in rhythmic, almost musical order into the blinding pool that had gathered round the roots. Each time a drop touched the pool, a sound rang out, a pure, crystalline, cosmic note, as though a tiny hammer had struck a silver rod. Was it, perhaps, counting the infinitesimal instants that weave a boundless eternity? To the friend's surprise, the fawn, still piping with one hand, beckoned them closer. Exchanging a puzzled glance, they approached the white fawn and the three-headed tortoise, which grinned broadly with all three mouths.
"Forgive us for following you,"
Sirepha said.
"The elf at the monastery told us only you can lead us to Oceana, the boundless fairy none can bear to behold."
"I could,"
said the tortoise's left head.
"I can,"
said the middle head.
"I shall,"
said the right. The white fawn smiled, leapt from the tortoise's shell, and danced round the jester and the angel while playing his hypnotic, haunted flute.
"That music was exquisite,"
said the left head.
"It is exquisite,"
said the middle head.
"It will be exquisite,"
said the right.
"Where is Oceana?"
Billy Blom asked.
"She was everywhere."
"She is everywhere."
"She will be everywhere,"
the three heads chorused.
"Have you seen her?"
Sirepha pressed.
"I saw her."
"I see her."
"I shall see her,"
answered the tortoise. The fawn lowered his flute and faced them.
"Do not misunderstand the Eternal One,"
he said in a slow, deep voice.
"One head ever gazes into the past, and thus can only remember. The middle head sees the present, therefore it has neither memory nor imagination. The third peers into the future, beholding all that has not yet happened and all that might be. I, however, stretch across the whole sphere of time. I know the moments that have fled, the moments that are, the moments that may yet arrive, and the moments destined to return. But the boundless fairy lies beyond my power. I cannot reveal her. You must find a crack in the sphere of time and slip outside it if you truly wish to see her. She lives beyond time, in the infinite void past eternity. That is her realm."
"How can we step outside time?"
Sirepha asked.
You will need a draft of reversed time. The right dose will halt the natural flow of moments for a little while and open a window
onto the supratemporal world.
The time faun replied.
Perhaps it's the tiny hourglass you took from the moon sprite's dream,
Billy Blom cried.
Of course,
the angel exclaimed.
The moon dust in it flowed upward, as if counting the seconds backward.
Sirefa drew out the hourglass and showed it to the faun. The dust still streamed from bottom to top, just as it had in the dream.
Perfect,
the faun said with a cryptic smile.
Unscrew the top and drink its contents. It will render you timeless for a while.
Will the moon dust harm me?
Sirefa asked, eyeing the hourglass with some misgiving.
Not at all,
said the faun.
Reverse time is a unique energy source, and, so I hear, delicious.
Reassured, the angel twisted off the hourglass's cap and drank the sparkling dust as though it were a refreshing cordial. It tasted sweet as sugar, but with a faint, spicy heat, filling his body, his nostrils, and his mouth. At once the faun began to move backwards, walking exactly in reverse. He climbed onto the tortoise, which also reversed its course along the trail of bubble seconds, and together they slipped back through the great gate of the clock castle. Simultaneously, Billy Blom began speaking a strange language, his own words. Perhaps it's the tiny hourglass you took from the moon sprite's dream, in perfect reverse, became a stream of fluent backward syllables. Meanwhile, the dewdrops that had fallen last into the pool now travelled upward from the water to the leaves, where they became once more galactic dew. Then even that motion ceased, and the drops froze halfway. Time itself stalled. They shone like diamond teardrops. Billy Blom stood motionless, as though playing statues, his very breath suspended in a still cloud before his lips. Suddenly, a colossal thunderclap shook the universe, and as though a curtain of darkness and stars were swept aside, an unbelievable scene was revealed. Chapter 12. The Resplendent Fairy. Towering grey clouds, washed in the wild glare of blinding lightning, ringed a colossal golden loom, so high, so broad and intricate, that the angel knew at once it was never meant to weave common cloth. Seated at the loom was a very ancient giantess, clad in silken robes and a kerchief that, beneath the stupendous flashes, seemed steeped in the ecstatic brilliance of a cosmic vision. Upon her brow blazed a crown like the brightest stellar nebula, studded with black hole jewels, comets, meteors, and world-shattering explosions so dazzling that the deep-furrowed face below lay half-hidden in its unearthly light. The angel bowed instinctively before the spectacle.
Are you the resplendent fairy no one can bear to behold?
He asked, trembling.
Blaspheme not, child,
the crone replied, her huge voice echoing like an endless cavern.
The Lady of the Universe is so boundless and sublime that even I dare not face her. I am but the lowly Fate who weaves her almighty spells from fine threads of divine substance drifting through the void. The primal stuff born of holy fire that creates, destroys, and rekindles all things in timeless cosmic spirals, far beyond the 12 heavens of enlightenment and ecstasy where the ultimate meaning of life unfolds.
Mustering his courage, the angel spoke again.
Where is the resplendent fairy no one can endure to see? I wish to behold her.
The giantess laughed, her mirth shook the universe, then grew solemn, lowered her blazing head and pointed upward with awe, almost with dread. A horror so vast overcame the angel that his knees failed, forcing him to prostrate himself before a greatness no soul could contain. With unimaginable effort, attempting a feat unthinkable even to ancient gods, he lifted his gaze, uttered a cry as if his eyes were aflame, and buried his face in his hands. The tiniest glimpse, or rather sensation, was like a mountain crushing an insect. The being above filled the universe from edge to edge, and its eyes, those terrible eyes, mirrors gazing into mirrors, plunging any bold onlooker into the infinite of infinites, the inviolate of the inviolate, worlds reflecting within worlds, dimensions enfolding dimensions, eternities nested inside greater eternities. Who could look on the resplendent fairy and not be shattered, her terrible eyes pierced to the furthest depth of existence and the yawning chaos of absolute non-being, encircled by cosmic bursts, incredible flares, innumerable suns, exploding like trifling bubbles that spawned realms and truths at a whisper of her will. A voice befitting such grandeur then resounded. Thousands of dread divine tones, deeper than the densest gloom, brighter than the fiercest light beyond all worlds.
I am the mother of the world's magic, measureless, unbounded, born out of time from the holy fire. I guide quintessences subtler than zero, the primeval egg that births light and darkness, yet mightier than the vastness of the worlds within worlds that cradle presence and absence alike. None is worthy to behold me. None can conceive, think, or utter me. For I alone know the hidden sense of one and naught and infinite, of light and shadow, of the tri-colored flame that bore me. I know what you seek, tiniest spark of light, but do you dare pay the price? Nothing is granted by me without exchange. To gain a memory, you must surrender a memory. What is given must be paid with something lost. Behold the horn of recollections, radiant and sacred. Drink if you dare, and the knowledge is yours. Yet in the end you may not say whether what you gained was worth what you gave.
In that instant, a horn of living energy, wrapped in a mystery finer than spirit itself, appeared before the angel, though he could not see it. His attempt to face the resplendent one had blinded him, not with darkness, but with blinding radiance. He saw only dazzling light. Sensing the object before him, the angel stretched out his hands and grasped the horn. He knew a grave choice lay ahead. Great knowledge had a heavy price. Yet if he retreated, the chance would never return. Timidly, he drank the first draught from the horn of forgetting and remembrance. The nectar, burning like fire inside him, unlocked hidden memories and opened a pathway of revelation. Yet he felt something within slip away. He suddenly recalled that when he was born in the Garden of Angels, the great ancient mushroom with silver bells rang the notes Si, Re, Fa, from which his very name, Sirefa, was taken. At the same time, something else, something vital, vanished utterly, like steam escaping a kettle. Unsatisfied, he drank again. This time the nectar was icy, as though he had swallowed splinters of frost. He remembered the valley of sugar flowers and the dwarf with a lace parasol lollipop, who first explained what it meant to be an angel. But he forgot what the dwarf had said about the Isle of Pierrots and what awaited him there. Another shard of himself was gone. Sip followed sip. Truths long buried flooded back. Yet at last he could not recall who he was or why he drank from the horn. When finally the single memory for which he had bartered everything returned, he remembered the lake in the Garden of Angels where the thing he sought had fallen. He could neither remember what that thing was, nor the way back. Laden with secrets, yet emptied of self, blind and hollow, he collapsed like a puppet whose strings have been cut. When he awoke, the fairy and the fate had vanished. Above him loomed an unfamiliar figure, clad in motley with jingling bells, shaking him and speaking a language he could not understand. His eyes were still drowned in light, and even if he had seen the stranger clearly, he would not have known who it was. Chapter 13. A night brimming with enchantment. The figure looming above him was none other than Billy Blom, tears streaming as he tried to rouse the friend who had traded away his most precious memories just to recover the single one that mattered to him.
Sirefa,
the wretched angel whispered, lost.
What a lovely name. Who is Sirefa? I think I once knew him, but I don't remember. If you meet him, tell him I'm sorry for whatever I did. Something is in the lake, some garden, but I can't recall what. The dwarf with peacock feathers in his top hat will know. Whoever you are, have pity on me. I know nothing, remember nothing. I see only light.
My friend, what have they done to you? Don't you remember me? Your friend?
Billy Blom cried, despairing.
Ancient magic, pity us. He remembers nothing. The journey of crystal dreams has stolen my friend. Foolish Billy Blom. Had you not urged him to the elves' monastery, he would still be here. I'll summon my balloon hat. In this state, he can't go anywhere alone, yet I still command all balloons wherever they drift. And by the old magic, I'll use that power. I'll do everything to save him.
He stood before the moon tree and called for his airship hat.
Rest easy, friend. I'll carry you far from this cursed place. I'll find your halo, even if it costs my life. At least, we know it fell into some lake.
The balloon sailed lightly down to the moon, but Billy Blom discovered it already held a passenger, the chest of ballerinas glowing eerily. Dozens of tiny voices pleaded from inside.
Open the chest, please. We can help. Believe us.
Well now,
Billy Blom muttered.
How did this chest end up here? Only one way to find out.
The crystal key was still in the lock, he turned it. The lid sprang open, flooding everything with violet light and the sweet crystal music that had earlier disturbed the ghost pirates. At once the exquisite ballerinas materialized, delicate spectres whirling in rapture.
Follow us,
they cried.
We will lead you to the Garden of Angels and the holy lake of the precious, ungraspable essence.
Billy Blom did not linger in wonder. If these tiny, splendid, winged beings offered aid, he would not refuse. He settled the angel inside the balloon and climbed in himself, steering along the glittering wake the ballerinas left across the sky. As they floated above the Isle of Blue Pierrots and the mysterious forest, hundreds, no thousands of moon sprites, bathed in silver and azure light, rose to join the flashing dancers.
We're coming too!
They chimed in their metallic, crystalline voices. Nor was that the end. Passing above the Teapot Palace and the Crystal Monument in the Valley of Forget-Me-Nots, myriad sparkling will-o'-wisps hurled themselves laughing into the flock. Rainbow fireflies from the Candy Isles, little fairies in dazzling gowns with pointed ears and gossamer wings, shrill as piccolos, fluttered alongside. Tiny, luminous stars, ghostly friends, descended from the vault of night with its 1,000 secrets to accompany them, while shining notes from the harps of the diamond-strewn shore rose like ethereal dream creatures of indescribable beauty, lending their airborne music. Now an army of radiant, transparent, magical beings, an enchanted, dazzling swarm half-veiled in sugary light, guided Billy Blom and the angel toward the celestial garden, playing hypnotic, star-bright, triumphant melodies. The little folk were aflame with joy, and it was clear they knew the way. Did seconds pass, or an age? Soon enough they had reached the Garden of Angels. Chapter 14. The Glorious Journey's End. All was peace. The celestial trees seemed gently lulled by a soft breeze, by the comforting light of a golden dawn, and by wandering clouds that high above looked like white lambs grazing an emerald meadow. A mist-wreathed lake of warm water, liquid glittering sapphire, spread across the paradise before them. The balloon drifted down, the two friends disembarked. Yet to the angel everything felt strange, foreign. Their outlines faded on the pale parchment of his mind. The magic beings who had guided them, stars and moon sprites, notes and fireflies, will-o'-the-wisps and fairies, hesitated not at all. One by one they plunged into the lake of the precious, unfathomable essence, forming a rushing torrent of light and myriad magics that merged into one within those lucid, mysterious waters. Now there was not 100 magics, but a single mighty radiance filled with love and compassion for the angel. Not the overwhelming cosmic power of Oceana, but that delicate, fleeting, priceless dream magic housed in tiny, wondrous creatures that humankind forgets or has never known. As that power saturated the lake, a new glow, holy, enlightening, flared like a crown of gold at its heart. Billabloom saw the angel's halo clearly at last. Tears in his eyes, he hugged Serepha and leapt into the waters. Who can say how long he stayed beneath, for the lake was deep. But when he rose, his aura shone with every hue of the rainbow, and in his hands gleamed the halo. The angel's sightless gaze brightened. Was it hope or memory? Billabloom set the halo upon his friend's brow, and something indescribably wonderful happened. Serepha overflowed with the illumination and wisdom of holiness. His memories did not return, yet he knew all he had forgotten, as though truth had burst into flame inside him and revealed his secret self. Tears streamed from the dark skies of his eyes.
I know who I am. I do not remember, yet I know. The true light shows me colors and feelings that birth me anew from nothing.
And me?
The jester asked shyly.
Do you remember me?
No, but I know you. You are Billabloom, my brother, who has given me back to myself. How can I thank you enough, my precious, shining friend?
Billabloom began to answer, but a figure drifted toward them, airy as a balloon, curls of sky-blue hair, a gown strewn with night flowers, a tri-coloured aura. Liliblim. The jester opened his arms. She, light as thistledown, alighted in his embrace.
I have come to you, my lord.
But how?
Billabloom stammered.
I realized there was but one way to escape my uncle's power. Submit to the power of the one I love, and the one I love commands balloons. So I became a balloon myself and flew to you.
How?
I breathed in all the light gas from my own balloons until I too was a swelling bubble. I soared past stars and galaxies, yet never lost the sense of who held sway over me. You, master of every balloon. As I neared, I released the gas in gentle until I spied the Garden of Angels and saw you aiding your friend. I let out the last breath and settled into your arms. I shall never lose you again, if you will have me.
Nothing in all the world do I desire more.
Billabloom said, moved.
Let us live here, in this paradise garden, beside the lake of subtle magic that outshone the might of the resplendent fairy.
And so the tale ends. An angel crowned with radiant light, two crystal children whose auras merged into a power of unbelievable beauty and love. Lo! From the lake the little beings rise, each reclaiming its singular magic and nature. They flit about, kissing, tickling, pinching, halo gleams and rainbows weaving into the most marvelous light, the light that shows colors only children can see. All sing with one voice.
Thus magic.
Whatever heart desires, whatever soul feels, in the moon of light, a truth's bright face, essence is born of purest grace. In perfect beauty, metamorphosis, all seeks change, all darkness scatters, day to rain. What once had left returns as light, and dawn within the soul takes flight, and siblings bound in purity's turn, with lavish lies and dreamlike gleam. Through petals of dream, round the starlit stream, celestial balm our hearts shall breathe. Let fate's own spindle